Missy, you're in here quick every time. That's awesome. You must get notifications like really, really quick. Good morning. Good morning, Arizona. I got your email. I'll be responding to you guys later on today. Um, but for those that watch this on the playback, hey, what's up, Mighty Mark, E-Rock, guys? I'm gonna start. I'm talking. I think I might start a Facebook group for mods only, and myself. Um, or I'm not sure where else we could actually just gather up so we can talk about certain situations that happen or whatever. But that's something I'm kicking around. So just kind of be aware of that when I say that. I'm only doing it so we can communicate and with issues and stuff in the chat. So we have had a few, but nothing too big yet. I just don't want that to get there. So that's what I will do with that. My wife's having surgery here in a few hours. That's why I'm doing a video now. Yeah, because I'm not sure if I'll have time later on today. So, morning, Lance, Dina. I'm not sure exactly how you say your name there. Joanne Rue, Sherry. Who was first today? G513, what's up? Okay, guys, I am going to go ahead and get into this real quick. And, yeah. So, Schumann, guys, not much other than the spike I already talked about last night. We are getting a little increase here, but nothing crazy out of the ordinary. So, that's just kind of a normal thing right now. So, if you're getting like ringing in your ears and stuff, and I know I say that about every time, but that is the truth. That's one of the biggest symptoms we see on our body and stuff when the Schumann's spiking. Okay. So we'll go over here, Space Weather Prediction Center. As you can see, even after my stream last night, we had 3 more flares. The sun's getting active. And I think with this last one, we're seeing some hits on our magnetosphere. So we're just going to have to wait and see what's going on with that. Geomagnetic activity is not rising that much, which is to be expected with a solar flare. A CME is totally different. It hits us, we're getting geomagnetic activity. That's a fact. But what you're talking about up here with flares, you're talking about X-rays. So that's the difference instead of plasma. But usually, there is a difference between the two, and I've been asked to kind of explain that, and I might here in just a few minutes show you a minute and a half video I made a long time ago. It's in my playlist if you guys are interested in seeing that. There's only like 4 videos there, but they are straight to the point about some of the vocabulary we use and the difference in what we talk about. So as far as the ACE data goes, guys, things are right in the middle. Everywhere. You can see this. I mean, nothing too crazy going on. But our magnetosphere is reacting. So something, we are getting solar weather because it's reacting in a elevated way. It's not just like reacting normally. It's definitely elevated. In the model, guys, we're right here in time. So here, well, tomorrow morning, this model's saying we should start seeing an uptick in density and a downtick in solar wind, which is probably, my guess would be, let's run this. My guess would be from like a solar flare, or maybe that coronal hole we actually connected to. Not quite sure yet. You guys see that? They changed that right in the middle of this video. At least that's what it looks like. Yeah, they did. Look. Yeah, they changed it a little bit. So this model actually will change when it gets new data. That's why I don't trust it way out here. It's good just to get a kind of a broad picture out here, but once it gets about here, I can pretty much say, yeah, we're probably going to experience those conditions. The green line is the conditions at Earth. That's why we talk about this one the most. Stereo A is the red line. It's right here. Stereo B is up here. And stereo B, just wipe that out of your mind, because we're never going to get to see any information from that one again. You know, for whatever reason people want to say that's why. Bottom line is, we're not ever going to see stuff from that satellite again. And most likely it was because of what we were seeing. Now, you know, we got the electron flux. It's still kind of jumping around a little bit. The magnometer, you can see how this line's a little bit more flat. And the reason why is because they changed the range, like I said. You know, it's not like from 0 to 10's here. And then yesterday, 0 to 10 would have been here and then way up here. So, that's the difference in that. Let's see here, grab this. There's not much going on with the aurora as far as out of the ordinary. So let's here's the magnetosphere models as far as, well, I already got these running. Okay. So you're going to see some stuff coming from the sun right now. Check it out. It's definitely coming. We're getting an increased weather, space weather. So, you know, this is pretty normal though when we get hit. And it's really not that big of a hit. Why? Why am I saying that? Well, because of this stuff. This is like right in the middle. Nothing is really moving around a whole lot. Here's the density. And again, guys, you're just going to see waves. It's actually went back to more of a symmetrical pattern. Remember, I was showing you guys like a hole here in it the past few days. That's not there anymore. So that means we're getting, you know, good, consistent, across the board hits. So take that for what it's worth. Pressure, you're not going to see much here. You know, we get a little back pressure there, but that's pretty normal. And again, all this is actually pretty normal. And I know I've been saying that, but that is the conditions, you know. I'm not going to come on here and sensationalize stuff just to make it sound worse than what it is. There's some people that do that. A lot of people that do that. You won't get that here. Now, I try to make my thumbnails and stuff interesting to grab people to see if they'll come in and watch. But if I say something in my thumbnail, I'm going to talk about what was in that thumbnail. Unless I forget. And I've done that before. But, you know, we all forget sometimes. That's the Australian model, guys. It wasn't doing a whole lot. Let's just go back to the 18th here. Oops. That's the 19th. We already watched the 18th. So here's the 19th. And this is a good, simple graph. That's why I like it. It's easy to understand. That's the satellite line where all our satellites are. This is our bow shock. That's what it's representing. So when we get hit from the sun, it's going to bounce around. And this gives us a capture every minute, which is about as fast as you can get one on any of these models we talk about. You're not going to get real time. You're going to get some sort of a delay, and you're going to get a time lapse, which is what this is. It's a series of 1 minute increments instead of like your TV and stuff. Even when we upload stuff here, 60 frames per second. So if you do the math on that, that's a huge difference. We're not getting to see anything else in between there. So it's what. Let's go down. Well, remember I said last night I was wondering why that wasn't mapped out as a coronal hole. Well, it is this morning. So, and then up here, the northern coronal hole is reaching down. Now, obviously, you guys see that sunspot right there. That thing's starting to act up a little bit. Okay. This is stereo A over here. We'll just grab it, and that right here, boom. Okay. You guys see that right there. Now, it does, you know, if we were just judging the direction of that, now remember, stereo A is here, so it puts Earth about right here. Because it's not 90 degrees. It's really more like right here. So stereo A is looking like this. Earth is over here looking from this way. Which would put that flare CME, cross, flare, whatever, it would be coming that direction. But when we go over here and look at SOHO, which is our view from Earth, looking at the same thing, it's going to the right also. So with both of these firing off to the right, it pretty much says, hey, this is going to go to, miss Earth a little bit. It's going to be going more this direction, more to the side. Because you can't tell the difference. You can't get in there close enough. It's a two-dimensional model. So with this, I will play this for a minute so everybody gets a good look at it. We're still getting flares from this one, but this one is now, off the limb of the sun. But this one here is acting up now a little bit. So I'm going to play it, and I want you guys to watch both areas. So you can see a little bit of stuff there. Sometimes if we do this, you see it better. Watch. Watch right in here as I move that back and forth. Okay? And then subsequently over here too, you're going to see a flare firing off. Sometimes these things are hard to see, but, it is what it is. So what we'll do here is we'll take a look at the 211, which is the purple, and it does show it pretty good. So I'll just push play on this one. See that? You see that flashing right there? That most likely was a flare. I'll grab this one. We'll go in a little closer. So watch right in here. So you're seeing some flashing, little small, whatever. They're not huge, okay? But they're there. Now you gotta look real close to see it over here. I'm gonna do this slow. See that? That's a flare because it's moving that fast. Oh crap. Alright. Anyway. So you can see stuff is happening all over the sun, guys. And, it's not big stuff right now, but it most definitely is stuff to talk about. Our magnetosphere model here it's acting up too. And we talked about, stuff that was going on behind it. We already talked about all that. I'm not going to discuss that this stream again. I'm open to talk about it later on, but I just simply don't have a whole lot of time here, guys. So you're going to see what you would expect when we get hit in the front. I mean, that's just what we would expect. Over here, that's the solar wind speed, or the solar wind direction and speed. Okay, it got up to like 800. It said, but I don't trust that much. Okay, it's the other graphs never show what that does. So which one's right? Well, if more than one are agreeing with each other, I'm going to lean that way. And this one hardly ever agrees with any of the other tools. So if we come back here, right? See, watch what happens when we get hit. We're going to get hit in the front. And then it blows out the back. You see that? Okay, we're getting compressed, and then we're going to push back, and it's called rapid expansion. But I've been talking about this too. You see these like rings, like waves of energy going off the back? That's probably Earth discharging some. Look at that. That's some pretty good pressure around our planet, guys. So if I keep moving, I found something else that was kind of interesting. Okay? Now, watch down here. Remember, the sun's over here on the right. So, in order to see things like back here or even over here move towards the sun, you have to wonder what's going on there. You know, something is probably influencing us back here somewhere or underneath or whatever. But that's, you know, that's kind of what I'm talking about. So if you watch down here, you're going to see some stuff move the wrong direction, basically. See that? So if I keep going, watch what else happens. Now that's a weird looking signature anyway. I have never seen a signature like this on this particular model. So you can definitely see some hits there. So if I'm going forward again, now remember, the sun's over here. You're going to see all this energy moving towards the sun direction. Watch. See it? That's back. That's forward. So, you know, in order for that to happen, something has to be pushing harder back there than what it is in the front. It's overtaking the solar wind. It's able to push back against it. So whatever's causing that. We do sometimes get a rebound effect. We'll get hit in the front and then it'll suck back in. And I've explained that quite a few times. But I don't think that when we see stuff like that, that it's 100% always that way. I do think we get influenced back here by whatever sometimes. You know, we could go. There's a lot of theories what goes on behind us. It's hard to pin it down on the one. There's just a lot of variables there, and there's a lot of good ideas. And you know that's why I show you guys the observation, let you guys decide for yourself. I don't want to mold your ideas, guys. That's not my intent. My intent is just to show you what I'm looking at, and hopefully show you guys how to look at these things so you know what you're looking at, and then decide why it's doing it. You know, I can't tell you guys that stuff because there's so many different opinions. And, you know, and anybody that says they have it 100% figured out, I would question that a little bit because we can all be wrong. You know, you can be really confident about yourself, and that's what you should be, right? But if you're so closed-minded you can't entertain any other idea, that becomes an issue with yourself because you're hurting yourself when you do that. The moment you think you know everything about one particular subject or life in general is the moment you stop learning. So that's just kind of the way I look at things. And I've said that a bunch. I get it, but it's the truth. Geoelectric field map. I'm going to guess we're going to see some action here. It's not too bad. I looked at it a few hours ago and it was actually a little bit worse. So that's what we're getting there. I don't foresee any kind of issues with this right now. Seeds, yes, I know that looks all jacked up. This is on stereo A core 2. This is nothing more than a glitch, okay? It could have got overrun with one of the lights from one of the flares. A whole lot of things could have caused that. But if you notice, every time you see this tool glitch out, it makes this same pattern. Every time. So it's not going to make the same pattern every time if it's being influenced by something other than light like that. So, you know, I've seen people take these pictures before, or these captures, and make a whole bunch of different accusations or claims about what's causing this. And but you can go back through history, and you can go back archive right here on this site, and look at everything that's ever been taken on this camera. And I would challenge you guys to do it. I'm not going to take the time to do it because I've already done it and I've shown it. But you'll find, you know, when you get a glitch like this, if you compare the two, these things are down to the micro. It's exactly a copy. Okay? So that is a camera flaw, guys. It's not nothing else more than that. Now, the flaw could be caused by a solar flare or the tool itself getting hit with a solar wind or a CME or even a flare, right? So that's what that was. Now, this is the most updated capture on SEEDS on LASCO C2, which is on the SOHO Observatory. It's a satellite that sits out in front of the Earth and looks at the sun. I'm not seeing a whole lot right here. There is a little bit in there, but it's not nothing to be like, oh my gosh, you know. But what I want to, you know, if you look over here, it is moving pretty fast as far as it's missing a few timestamps here. So that causes it to look like it's moving faster than normal. Now, something else I want you guys to note. You see how this looks almost like a Christmas tree? It's blinking. What that is, guys, is this satellite is pretty much in the same conditions of Earth because it sits out right in front. Well, what are we going through right now? The Orionid meteor shower. You know, the debris tail from Halley's Comet. So that's why you're seeing this, because you're seeing little itty bitty meteorites flying by. And you can tell they're only there for a second. I mean, they're there and gone. And when we get solar flares, this will look like this one. It goes to pretty much white noise if we get a direct hit. Okay? Spaceweather.com. Okay? Look, you see this? They renamed another. They made that a new sunspot. You believe that? Wow. Because 2775 was right over there. Wonder why they did that. That's crazy. Unless another sunspot developed, you know, in close proximity. So they're saying right here there's a sunspot still on the Earth-facing side. This one here is the big one I showed you guys in the middle. Now they talk about that. The big one here is like a light bridge, is what they call it, and that points to this thing's getting ready to collapse or, you know, have a flare, CME type of stuff. If it collapses, it could have a flare and a CME at the same time, or it could do nothing if it collapses. But when we start seeing these light bridges from one connection to the other, it's on its way to be doing something big. Or to it, right? On its way to be doing something detrimental to itself, is what I'm saying. Earthquakes. Let's go ahead and update that. There was actually a sizable one down here in Dominica. Well, they downgraded at 0.4. You believe that? Yeah, I believe it, but they do that every time. About makes you sick. Anyway, so we're getting some there. Now, that's all magnitudes. So I have to say, guys, if that's all magnitudes, that is such little activity. It's crazy. Let me change it to 2.5 and above. Watch. It's just, yeah, it's just crazy. I think, you know, like I said, with all this solar weather and stuff we're getting ready to get, as we're getting it currently, plus all this other things going on, I would be paying attention, guys, to earthquakes. All right, because we're going to get a big one here before too long. I promise. I can't tell you where. You know, obviously I point you guys over to Dutch because I think he does a really good job. You know, Scott too. I'm sure there's others out there also. Ricky, I'm not sure if she's in here. I'm not sure if she actually tries to predict or not, but she knows what she's talking about when she talks about this stuff. So, okay. I just wanted to check on you guys there for a second. Okay, this still hasn't updated. That's the other one that happened on the 18th. That flare CME. That's it right there. Yeah. So, you know, it's not showing any of the new ones because they really weren't all that big, but still. Power outages. Nothing to talk about there. Okay. I've been showing you guys this, and I'll continue to do that because it is a good indicator of certain things. Especially if we're getting solar weather over top of one area that could be knocking power out. What the heck is that? I don't even know what that is. Anyway, oh, it looked like a help screen. So, yeah. So, get you guys up here real quick. You guys got any questions before I pop out? Oh, you're welcome, Missy. But yeah, guys, you guys got any questions? Pop them in there real quick, and I'll see if I can't help out. If not, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here in just a few minutes. Thanks, Pamela. I appreciate that. Hey, Ken. Thank you for saying that. I'm glad to be, you know. You're welcome, Michael. Arizona, thank you for modding for me. I'm not sure if E-Rock and them guys are still in here or not. But anyway, anybody watching this on the replay, especially if you're a moderator, I'm going to start probably a Facebook group just for moderators so we can talk and, you know, talk about things that happen or just simply ask about what's going on, or just to give each other information. So, all right, cool, E-Rock, cool. Yeah, you know, we do get an uptick, guys, in what Mary's saying there. No Facebook. Yeah, I know. It's yeah. I don't use. I got a Facebook group for my channel here. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't go there very often. You know, it's just something that was there. It gave people a place to come talk without having to have my videos going and all that. But I would simply use that Facebook group as something just to communicate with each other. We wouldn't be like posting articles and all that other kind of stuff in there. It would just be for, you know, unless it applied to what we were talking about. Yeah, you're right, Johnny. He does. But let me say this: there's really not a social media platform that the CEOs don't suck. Okay, and that's kind of where I'm going with this. Even the ones that aren't so popular right now, you have to understand that at some point, Facebook wasn't, neither was YouTube. They were small at one point. So the other ones, you know, they're going to get to there too. And I would bet $100 to a jelly donut. That's what my grandpa used to say. That that they will sell out also eventually. However long it takes them, but they will. Think about it, guys. They almost have to stay doing anything that big anyway. So yeah, thanks guys for you know, pointing them towards that like button. I really thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, Zuck. You know, there's not too many people out there that actually like that guy. Even on the left, they don't like him. So, you know, there's something not right with that dude. I try to not even go down those conversations because, again, we're so polarized over conversations like that, we can't have an open mind for anything. Back at you, Mary. Back at you. I do. I appreciate all you guys. I really do. That's why I'm on here right now. Before I go get, with my wife to get surgery, I just wanted to get this out in case I couldn't do it later on. I probably still will be able to go live later on tonight when she goes to bed and stuff. But yeah, that's a big conversation there too, Brittany. And again, it's a polarizing one. That's the whole thing. I mean, nobody wants to come off of any of their ideas or give up anything just so we can get things done. And that's the whole issue with the whole freaking planet, in my opinion. So, yeah. Very possible. It's very possible. Okay, guys. I do appreciate you guys. God bless. Yahuwah saves, and you can drink this.